Hey guys, it's Jason Creel and I am living the lawn care life. In this video, I want to explain to you in no uncertain terms when it is time to drop one of your lawn care clients. Stay tuned. Okay, so you might be thinking, Jason, I thought the point was to gain more customers, okay, not to drop them. And you're right. If I've misspoken that, then you know, in the overall context of all the videos, the goal is to gain more customers. But that being said, there at times is an appropriate need to drop a customer. So let me explain. I think there's a fundamental mindset that needs to happen for lawn care business owners. And this mindset, if I can illustrate, is this desire to reach a certain goal. So let's say we're playing football, and I'm not playing football, but let's say we were. And I'm trying to get to the end zone, okay? I have the ball, I'm the running back. I'm trying to get to the end zone. Now in lawn care business, I have a lawn business, I have a goal of where I'm trying to take that lawn business. Maybe for me, that means I want to do it part-time and have 20 good customers. Maybe it means I want to do it full-time, have 8 trucks running, and be making several $1 million revenue a year. I don't know what your end zone is, but there is an end goal that we're trying to get to, okay, or at least there needs to be. If you hadn't done that, then maybe that's where we need to start, is what's your end goal of your lawn business. But sometimes when, just like in football, you're trying to get the end zone, there are things that are trying to stop you from getting there. Now, a lot of that is just happens, you know, it's wear and tear on the equipment, whatever. There's all kind of situations that happens. An employee, you know, may be holding you back. At that time, that employee needs to go. Okay, but sometimes the problem is an actual client, one of your customers, is what is holding you back from reaching that goal. Let me give you an example. All right, this was in my early days in the lawn business, and I made a couple of mistakes. I had a lady, and she was an older lady, and you may have seen my video where I talk about the shocking demographic of difficult lawn care customers, and that demographic is old. Okay, so old people in general, I'm not, you know, I've got some that are great, but overall I've noticed a pattern that when I have difficulties with customers, typically they're elderly. I had a retired customer the other day. I walked up to his house, and I've been spraying his weed. He had a few weeds in his yard. And he had some weeds in his yard because he started very late on the program this year, and we didn't get the pre-emergent down at a proper time. And even that being said, he had very few weeds, but he had some weeds. I walk up, he says, "Whatever you're spraying for weeds is not working." And he just had a little smirk on his face. I just kept spraying. And what, you know, I was like, "Oh, really?" Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I probably should have engaged. Well, you know, what's your concern? Would you want to take a minute to explain this to you? You know, but it's the way he smirked at me when it said, I just thought, you know what? What I'm thinking in my mind is what does not need to come out of my mouth right now. So I'm just going to keep working and spray his yard, knowing in my mind that his yard's going to look probably great next year if he can wait that long. I don't know if he can or not. But anyway, I digress. That was not really the story I'm going at. So there's an older lady. This was years ago. We started cutting her grass, and I had a bagging mower and a mulching mower. She wanted it back. Okay, that's fine. I got a bagging mower. I got a walker with, you know, real nice walker mower, and you know, it began in the first few times we cut her grass. We start to get a note on the door every time we show up. Now, we're cutting it every 2 weeks, which might have been part of the problem. And we show up, and there's probably 8 bullet points of things that we did wrong the previous time we were out there. And so we try to, you know, I had a crew of 3 people at the time, and we're trying to do a good job on this lady. You know, like, okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She had a huge oak tree in her front yard that would drop twigs. I'm not talking about sticks. I'm talking about twigs that maybe in a few years might grow up to be a stick, but twigs this big. We would walk around and pick those up by hand before we cut the grass under a huge oak tree that did that every week, and we would still get a note that talking about we didn't pick up enough of the sticks. It was one of those, she had a fence, like a little half of a fence, and we would trim around that fence, and she'd say, well, you need to trim on the other side of the fence. I'm thinking, that's not your property, okay? I mean, we're not responsible to take care of you. If your neighbor wants us to pay us to go over there and trim on the other side of the fence, we'll be happy to. But actually, that's not even your property. Yeah, and it was, I can't remember. Fortunately, I think I've been able to put these things out of my mind, what the laundry list was, but it was almost every, we would see her on the schedule for the day, but like, oh no, it's her day again. Get there, almost laugh to keep from crying when we read the letter, try to do the things, and then the next week, or 2 weeks later when we show up again, there's another laundry list of what we didn't do right. And I'm thinking, we're spending more time on this lady's property per square foot than any other customer. I think at the time she was paying like $45 a cut or something. No, I know it, no, this reminds me. Another mistake I made, and this was a big mistake, and I think this is something that we do not need to do in the lawn business. So I'm starting off and I'm thinking, I need to make money in the wintertime. I need year-round income. So what I did, I had a few customers that what I would do is I would figure out how many cuts they had for the year. Let's say it was, 25 cuts, just to throw a number out there. And let's say I thought it was worth $50 per cut. I would calculate what that grand total was and divide it by 12. And I would just bill them that for the month, for each month. And I thought, look at me, I'm making money in the winter. Well, really what I was doing, I was simply giving them a discounted rate in the summer. I mean, I'd be coming, regular in the summer. They're paying me less than the normal rate in hopes that in the winter they would pay me, for what I did back in the summer. All I was doing was basically delaying getting the money that was rightfully owed to me. And you know what happened with this particular lady? After all, the demoralizing letters and whatever, what happened is I had her on that system. So she was paying me whatever a month. Comes about October, just when the work's gonna start slowing down and all I gotta do is kind of, keep it maintained through the winter, which is not nearly as big a deal as it was during the summer. About October is when she fires you, And I said, well, and really I look at it, that's my fault. I mean, I hate that she did that, but it's my fault for getting in that system. And I switched away from that. Let me just delay what I'm supposed to get in the summer, and so I can get an income in the winter. Let me have it in the summer, and I can save it for the winter. So I'm not saying don't get year-round contracts. I think year-round contracts are great. I'm saying a couple things. One, the only reason to do it is if there is a need to have some work done in the winter time. So let's say in the winter you can do leaf cleanup, you can have something providing some value. Don't delay what's rightfully owed to you in the summer just to the winter in hopes. And then also if it's just a residential customer, then you might want to look at having some sort of written contract, because like I said, that they want to fire you about October after they've had their grass cut at a discounted rate all summer. So don't do that. I started just charging per cut. You give me the money, and then if there's something to do in the winter, fine. If there's a commercial property, 12-month contract in writing, what we're going to provide each month year round, okay? But on residential, if they just wanted their grass cut during the summer, well, I'm not giving them a discount rate to get paid in the winter. I have a mistake on me. So anyway, the whole point, back to my story of the football, if I'm running to the end zone and I've got a customer, I've got a big linebacker hanging on my back, it slows me down. I'm telling you, that customer became demoralizing to our entire crew, okay? We would go there and it was like defeated. We're wasting time, slowing our momentum. We're spending extra time. It's still not good enough. And it really did start to affect you where you didn't want to go to this person's house. Now, she fired me. I should have, looking back, I should have dropped her before she could drop me. But it's like I said, I started off bad by giving her this discounted rate during the summer. So I made a couple of mistakes there. But the point is, when a customer or an employee or a equipment supplier or whoever, when somebody is trying to keep you from your goal, then it's time to let them go. That's the whole point. And let me, before you go too far to an extreme on this, we're in the people business. So if I have an 80-year-old woman and she has a flower pot that's too heavy for her to move from one side of her porch to the other, and she wants to move to the other side of the porch, we're not so business focused that I say, yeah, I'll do it for $20. I mean, you help people out, okay? We're in the people business. We want to serve people. But there's a difference in, you know, helping people at a reasonable rate or whatever. You know, if they ask you to do something small, yeah, that's fine. I'll take care of that for you. No big deal. You don't have to pay extra for that just one time. But there's some people that want to lock you into a rate. They say, okay, he agreed to cut my yard for $50. Now, can you come inside and hang some pictures on my wall? I mean, I had a person actually ask me to do that one time. Her husband had plenty of money, but he was not very tall. And I don't guess he liked ladders. And she had me go in there and hang a picture on her wall. I mean, she was a customer for a while. I did it, but I'm like, what am I doing? I mean, you know, and so, you know how it is. Sometimes they think if you're in the lawn business, you also know how to work on, you know, HVAC and refrigerators and what, you know, it's like, listen, I know how to work on your lawn. I can't fix everything. If your car won't crank, you need to take it to a mechanic, you know. I can't fix it. So, but anyway, sometimes people, it's just a strategy. They lock you into the rate and then they start adding on to what's, oh, while you're here, would you mind go ahead and trimming those hedges? Oh, that's not included in the price? No, ma'am, that's extra. That's actually, you know, going to take us about the same length of time as it would to cut your grass, maybe longer. So, you know, just don't let people keep you from the end goal. You stay focused on where you're trying to take your business. And yeah, there's people, you know, you're serving people. But at the end time, we're trying to build a business that is efficient and profitable, and whatever is holding you back, if it's a big linebacker keeping you from the end zone, you got to shake the thing off your back, stiff arm them, whatever, to get to where you're going. Hope it helps. Keep watching the videos. Here's some suggested videos. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you soon.